plan on exercising your mobility. For us, a lot of people in the group are very excited about, yes, we're under extreme turmoil about actually parting North America, but we're very excited about to earn in dollars and spend in pesos. One of the exciting things about day trading is that you get a chance to earn non-geography specific income. And so, with all the favorable tax laws, not only do you earn non-geographic specific income, but you can keep all of it to a large degree if you structure things properly. So that's really exciting. And I know a lot of people are concerned. They're stressed. They don't feel like they can start a business. They don't have a product or a service idea. Maybe they've tried network marketing, didn't work. Maybe they've tried to build a service business and it didn't work out well for them. I don't know what that is for you. But I think day trading is exciting because you don't have to sell. You don't have to have any products. I mean, there's so many amazing benefits to doing day trading that you can trade from anywhere in the world with modest money. You can get in there, set up some trades, make some profits. We always talk about the proverbial $100 a day, because if you're living in places like, most parts of the world, $100 a day gives you a great life. We watched this show from Mexico last night. In the rural parts, if you're outside of the tourist area, you could rent a nice apartment, nothing super extravagant, but a nice apartment for $200 a month. And all of your other expenses, including some restaurant dining, would fit into $500. You were living really good for $1,000 in these small towns. In Nicaragua, it's half of that, right? And so we looked at Bulgaria, we've looked at St. Kitts and Nevis, we've looked at lots of different places. Belize, it doesn't matter where you are. Day trading to us is super exciting because to me, like that can change your whole world. Talk about taking over control of your whole world. And no matter how bad the economy gets, no matter if everyone's broke and no one has any money to spend on any products and services, you can still day trade currencies from anywhere in the world and still be in control of your income. So I'm really excited about that. So today I want to bring on a gentleman that I'm growing to have a lot of respect for. I got introduced to him. I posted on Facebook over a month ago. Many of you have heard this story that I was looking for traders. I'm looking for people who offer a variety of services that can help people make money and increase their personal freedoms. And, a bunch of things came back to me and a bunch of them weren't a good fit. There's a couple other that I may introduce to the community that I think they're doing some interesting things. I've only got a very limited time to vet all of these things, but Jacob and I have had a lot of really good conversations. And when your spidey senses tingle that you're talking to someone you can trust, that takes care of people and cares about people. Like, that's what I felt. And when he tells me how he protects the underside and it's about one system and they only trade based on data, et cetera, and that he's put in over 10,000 hours, which is how you master anything, I got excited to introduce you to him. And then I started watching some of the people in his group, and they're having like these extraordinary returns, some of which I posted in the group for you to see. And it just got me really excited. So anyway, enough about that. I'm ranting here, but Jacob, if you can click on your microphone and your video, I do see that you're on here. We'd love to have you come on and join us. And when you get the little tech side figured out, perfect. You share with us a little bit about, your background. Just give us the gist of your story, and then we'll go from there. Tell us how you got into trading. What made you intrigued by trading? What's your favorite part of it? That kind of stuff. All right, something's happening. We got it.
All right, can you hear me now?
Perfect. All right, Jake. I'll let you give us your story, and I'm going to mute myself.
All right, cool. Finally got that worked out. I don't know what's going on. Sometimes it has some issues over here with the internet, but So I don't know how much of what y'all heard before, how much the microphone was working before, but I'll just start back over from ground zero. I've been trading for over 2 years, and the first place basically that I've seen people trading, that was actually like 5 years ago, and I was working in a warehouse, and it was a really hot, hardworking like type environment. I was working on a production line, and I've seen people making money from their phones. And around that point in time, I'd been reading about time freedom and freedom of mobility. And as I saw people making money on their phones trading, I was just instantly intrigued, because to be 100% honest with everybody, I just felt like by being locked in at a certain spot, having to be locked in a certain spot at a certain time in order to produce an income just wasn't fitting for me. I felt like I was doing myself a great disservice, to put it lightly, to continue to live my life that way. I had been in situations previously before in my life to where I always had to answer to people and things, and it got to the point to where, reporting to a certain place to do a certain thing to make a certain set amount of money was just not appealing to me at all. So it brought forth a really great desire to where I would be willing to do whatever it takes to acquire something, as powerful as, learning how to trade or learning how to market. Whatever the costs were, whatever the sacrifice were, it didn't matter to me, because it was a life or death situation to me. I refused to live my life as the way that I was feeling on the inside, as a slave. I felt like I was enslaved. And so it was through that feeling, like I said, that gave me the desire and the commitment to, go and search and jump into these other areas of marketing and into trading and stuff. And, I've had several mentors since then. I've been trading for over 2 years. And, the best of my experience has come through, mentors and through my own personal experiences, practicing, what they were teaching me, and just always staying plugged in, and always, showing up and asking questions, fully submerging, and, just always pressing forward no matter how hard it's got. My first trading experience was through an artificial intelligence trader called Hamilton, and you would say, some people would say, look at it and say that it was an unfortunate experience because lost money and everything. But one thing I wanted to add just real quick to everyone is that your mindset is going to determine your outcome of any situation. I've had several scenarios where someone could look at the situation and say that it was an unfortunate situation that I lost money through that first mentorship. But it was through that first mentorship, or through that first artificial intelligence trader. But it was through that experience that I found my first manual trading mentor. So that got me through the gates of actually learning how to trade, and to actually be in control of my own trades and not trusting some machine. So even though I lost money and lost time and invested time and efforts and emotions and things in it, I met my first teacher through there. So it's a winning situation for me. It was through another experience, my next experience, that I actually got plugged into a mentorship. I was in that platform for, off and on for about a year. I was just fumbling around, experimenting with my own ideas and trying to intertwine with what he was teaching and stuff. But it was through that. It was through, and I'm talking about my first manual trading mentor. So I was with him. I was with the artificial intelligence trader for about 6 months, with my first manual trading mentor for about a year. And then after that, I got involved in a place that actually had a training course and active mentorship, like group mentorship with signals and everything like that. And that's the place where I'm coming from. I was there for about 6 months, and I would say it was through that experience that I learned and grew the most. And this is coming from a place to where, again, this is going back to just mindset. You got to keep a positive mindset through all of your experience if you want all your experiences to be positive. Just always keeping a positive mindset. It was this last experience where I was in this mentorship, and the strategy wasn't complete. It was missing some things, and there was no intra-core trading strategy. The entry was a bit off and stuff, and so I struggled day and night. I fully submerged day and night. I lived, breathed, and ate this stuff. And I tried to make it work. I gave it everything that I had. I made huge sacrifices to make this stuff work, and even despite the gaps or holes that the strategy and stuff had in it, I was able to push ahead and to persevere and to rise above. And I was given a position to provide signals to that group through that experience. I had to make adjustments and stuff like that to the strategy and everything, and that's kind of what's got me where we are today. Ended up we ended up going our separate ways. From that group, I ended up leaving, and then it wasn't until probably 2 or 3 months ago that when I left, I didn't have anybody to share my signals with And so I called up a couple of buddies. Some of them are on this call right now. Rostam and Ann and Danielle. I started. I didn't have anyone to share my signals with, and that's one of the things I really enjoy to do is to give out value and to provide value through signals and through teaching through signals and stuff. And so I started providing the signals, and then people started showing up and started coming through the doors. You know, it was never really my intentions to start a group or to start a trading team or to have a training course or any of that stuff or a mentorship or any of this. But one thing just kind of led to another. We were started hitting crazy amounts of take profits. Terry had seen some of them at one point. We were up at 95% accuracy. You know, to the point in time where we are today, where I think we're still at around like 95%. We had a couple weeks that were a miss. You know, it happens. You're not going to win them all. But you know, none of this stuff, even running it into Terry and everything, nothing was really planned. You know, not really out. I was never really out to you know, like I said, just start a trading business or mentorship or any of that stuff. But because it was happening and it happening naturally, I began to, you know, let it unfold, you know. And so one thing led to another, and you know, we now have a training course, mentorship, free signals, a live chat, you know, in a community to keep people that's joining together and learning and earning together. So I'm really excited to be where I am right now, and you know, couldn't ask for anything more. So,
well, you know, Jake, if you just mute your side just for a second.
Sure.
Yeah. You know, for those listening, I mean, this is one of the things I like about Jake, because this industry, if you don't know a lot about it, if you haven't been in it for a long time, there's a lot of shady players out there, and there's a lot of people who really don't trade. They make all their money off of telling people how to trade and signal. Jake's a trader. Drake is actually trading, and the other people are getting results. And for those who don't know what signals means, what he's basically saying is he's saying, I'm trading this position on this position, and this is where I think it's going. And he's teaching people where he would take a position to make money. Because when it comes to day trading, you're getting in and you're getting out. You're trying to ride that little sweet spot where you know the price is going to go up. And through a lot of this mentorship, he got a lot of these great strategies and systems that allowed him to figure out when something was going to go up and when to go out and how to protect the underside and all that stuff. But like you heard him talk about in the story, a few things were missing. And now that he feels he closed the loop on it, like for anyone who's day trading, like, listen, even if we cut his numbers in half, he would be the greatest trader probably of all time. Okay. 95% is huge. If you're at 80%, it's great. And when you do lose, you only lose a little bit because you protect the underside and you never bet all of your money on one trade. So that's another thing that Jake teaches. So Jake, you don't have to tell them your whole system, but talk to them a little bit about to people who are maybe feeling risk averse. They're saying, okay, let's suppose I wanted to day trade. I don't have a lot of extra money to get in here. I'm worried as an amateur. I put my money in it. And what happens if I lose it all? How do you protect people from the low risk? So if those people are two groups, there's one, people don't want to lose a single dime. There's another group of people who's like, I don't want to join any program because someone else has my money and I'm not managing it, right? Like a mutual fund. A lot of people don't feel comfortable with that. In this case, you control your trading account. It's your account. You're in control of the buy, the sell, every detail. And Jake's going to teach you to take your damn emotions out of it and make every trade based on metrics and numbers. Every decision gets made for a very specific reason. And if you can also speak to the fact that it's one system, you're only asking them to master one thing. So for those of you who are feeling like intimidated right now, saying like, I'm not a trader, I don't know any of these terms, I don't even know what a forex is, I don't know any of these terms. Can I do it? Like, am I going to get overwhelmed, or can I just learn this one simple system? If you could speak to a few of those kind of items, I think a lot of people are going to be quite interested in that. I'll mute myself. Go ahead, buddy.
Sure, Terry. That's great questions too. I mean, what it all comes down to, you know, and I'm sure a lot of you already know this, there's going to be a lot of questions. That's what the mentorship is for. You know, we're going to get all the answers from taking this step, you know, and so it comes down to taking risks and managing risks. So like your greatest strength as a trader needs to be needs to be like how well you're able to control your risk or protect yourself from losses. So, you know, one of the ways that we do that is, you know, from proper risk management is getting yourself into scenarios where you have more, and it's very simple. Where you have more, and just to put it as easy as I can, is just you have more to gain than you do to lose. So you don't want to be getting into anything really that's a one-to-one odd. Like say, I'm going to risk $100 to gain another $100. That's not a good scenario. Or I'm going to risk $1,000 to gain $1,000. No, you want to risk $1,000 to gain $3,000. If you have a bigger account, or if you're trading a smaller account, you want to risk, $100 to gain $300 or $400. So, and with that being said, so if you have even a 70, 60 or 70% win rate, then, you don't have to win 70% of the time to be profitable. So you could actually be down in 40%. But if you're only taking scenarios where you're winning 3 times as much as you're losing when you lose, then you can be really profitable at 40%. So that's one of the ways. Another ways is just making sure that you're not over leveraging your account. That you're always trading according to your account size. Brokers give you an insane amount of leverage, or at least they offer it to you, which basically gives your dollar like extreme power. So like $1 is like the power of like $100, and $100 can be like the power of like $10,000. So one thing that that you need to, that everyone, I think it's really important for everyone to know and to understand, is that when you first get into trading like this, that you don't have to have your leverage turned up. These lessons, because you're going to learn some lessons in the beginning, and you get to choose how much that you want to pay for them. As long as you have your leverage turned down, and you're trading, say, on micro lots or mini lots, your lessons are only going to be $1 or $2 at a time. If you're trading, bigger leverage, if you're putting more leverage on your money, then your lessons are going to be more expensive. So, one thing that I always try to emphasize, and is most important, I think, in most of trading overall, is to work on getting consistent first before you turn that leverage up. Because in trading, the same trade that you're gonna make to make $10 can make you $1,000 or $10,000. It's the same distance, different amount of leverage. So it's working on getting consistent. If you can get consistent first at making $10 a day, if you can make consistently $10 a day, I'm just using that for an example. Let's say a very small account, like $100 account, and you're making $10 a day every day, or even 4 days out of 5, or 3 days out of 5, or whatever. Then you can turn your leverage up, and it can be your friend. But when you turn that leverage up, and you've been losing, then it's going to cause you to lose faster. And this when you blow accounts and stuff like that. So with that being said, as long as keeping your leverage small and you're using good risk to reward ratio, then you really don't have. There's really the margin for error. You're in complete control of that. And that's something that we teach through the course, and we go over on calls and all that stuff. So as anyone ever has any questions and stuff, then there's always encouraged to ask. And that's what the live chat's for, and that's what the mentorship's for. It's really important to have that, to have the training course, not just to have a training course, but to have a community of people that are all learning together, and then to have like mentorship, because you're going to have a whole lot of questions as you're going. And it's important, that people have places where they can get answers. If you just have like a training course, if you're just to join like a training course to learn a strategy, it's going to be a really limited success, because you have nowhere to reverberate to get your answers from, when you have, because there's so many different scenarios. So again, just having it established with the community and mentorship and the training course is what makes it something really special, because there's people of all different levels in trading there, and you can get answers real fast.
I'll just mute for a second.
Sure.
So one of the things I like that you were sharing with me is you teach people, they can trade with no dollars, or they can trade with very small dollars. So there's no risk there. Cut your teeth, learn your lessons all on small dollars. But because they're only learning just one system, if people just discipline themselves to keep their emotions out of it and just follow what you're teaching and follow all the rules and parameters for when they get in, when they get out, when they maximize a trade, when they put 3 positions on one trade to try and hit 3 different profit targets, if they would just discipline doing it exactly as you say, they can still get very good and start generating very real cash flow for themselves quickly, right? So I would like if you could just touch on that for them quick, because I think a lot of people are. So a lot of people in our community, Jake, are looking to relocate or maybe even take a long extended vacation in a place like Mexico right now until things calm down in the U.S. But they're concerned that, they may not have a huge amount of savings and they're going to need to generate some money while they're down there. If they could do it in a trading account, you could show them, Jake, let me reframe this or add to this question. How much money does someone need to start with in their trading account to get to $100 a day? Let's just use that as a magic round number and ish. We know that they're not going to hit 30 for 30 days, but just that rough magical number. Speak to kind of a little bit about what it would take to get there time wise and how much money they need in their account to make that a reality.
Sure, Terry. And this is going to go back again to, desire. So the first question that I would say for everyone to ask themselves, like, how big of a deal is this for you? How big of a deal is this for me? Like, how important is this for me? What is my level I'm willing to commit to it? Because that level of desire and commitment and sacrifice and everything is going to determine how fast you're able to get that stuff. For me, I can only speak from my own personal experiences. I jumped in head first. I quit the job that I was in, and actually I didn't have the money to get started in this last mentorship. And it's all about taking risks too. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you, like, I sacrificed a car payment because I didn't have the money to get started at the mentorship. But I realized that something had to happen, and my scenario may be a little bit different than yours. But it just goes to show, whenever you put yourself out there and you submerge yourself in it and you take the risk, that's when you put yourself in a situation where you're going to perform the best. So it was from me doing that and putting myself in that situation and being in that situation, that I was able to start getting consistent, started hitting consistent, take profits with this last mentorship and this last strategy that I was in, and take it consideration too that the entry was flawed and there were some other flaws in the strategy. I was able to get consistent with it and even work out the tweaks within 3 or 4 months. I started this last time with a $300 account at that place. But you can start with $100, you can start with $1,000. But what I would suggest, or you can start with $10,000 or $100,000. But what I would suggest for anybody to do, no matter what you're starting with, is to keep the leverage down, at least so you start to get the hang of it and you get consistent. Like I said, with my first manual trading mentor, I was able to start making $100 a day just going off his signals, and his signals weren't anything great, but it didn't take a lot of brain power for me to find out, if I stacked some lots on his, because they weren't really going the distance. But I was like, well, if I stack a couple more lots on here, stack a couple more positions on here, then I can start making the kind of money that I wanted to start making. So, it all comes down to, how bad do you want it? And I think that, that applies with anything in life. Some people that don't have the talent, that don't have as much talent, can go in and kill it faster than someone that's got the talent if they got the willpower. And if they made the sacrifices, and if they really, really want it bad enough. For me, it was all about, I would rather die in the pursuit of something greater than to be stuck another day where I was. So it all comes down to me, through my own experiences. That's all I can speak of, is just like how bad do you really want it? I was able to get it, like I said, get consistent within 3 or 4 months at the last mentorship I was in, but someone else could get it a lot faster, because now we're not dealing with those kinks. We're not talking about the same set of cards here. The hand of cards that I was dealt is not going to be as good as the hand of cards that anybody else would be dealt, coming from the course that we have and the mentorship that we have, because we already took those blows and we already had those experiences and we've already worked out the kinks. So,
and that's one of the things that I like about what you're doing. Like, it was music to my ears when you talk about burning the boats. Like, years ago, I had a job that I hated, and it was killing me inside. And my parents were screaming at me, and but what are you going to do next? I'm like, I don't care. I don't even care at this point. I'm never working another day, another time, and I'll live like a fucking student if I have to. I'm going to figure this shit out. I'm not going back, and I'm not going to be a slave anymore. And I just, I'm getting goosebumps because that changed my life. That changed everything for me. But what I've also learned over the years in business, and I've learned a lot of things over the years, is that trading, if you're not working a system, you're going to get crushed. If you're letting your emotions getting in, if you're making trades willy-nilly, if you're falling in love with silly ideas or things that you have, it's way better to have it metrics driven, learn one system and only one system. And there's a rule for where you risk, how much you risk, and where you take 3 different positions on the same trade to maximize your profits. And I just love that you've distilled it down to that, and that you stayed in the grind for over 10,000 hours to see the flaws in someone else's system and make it better. And and I like it. We talked a bunch of weeks ago, and you were like, this week was a pretty shitty week. There's a few days we just didn't even trade. The market wasn't right. There wasn't enough risk to reward ratio, so we just stayed out. And then a couple of days, we lost a couple trades, and then I called you another week, and you're like, how are things going? He's like, we haven't missed a single trade this week. I'm like, holy shit, that is awesome. And so even if you're not making big profits in the beginning, if you can hit it consistently enough, it's just math, right? Like, I like what Ross said. You can compound your account sensibly, and I just think that's really good. So if you're trying to get rich overnight, that you're probably going to let your emotions get in. You're going to violate the rules. But Jake's going to teach you how to not do that. He's going to protect you from yourself. Jake, what do you say to people who've never traded, never bought a stock, never bought a Forex, never bought a future, don't own a trading account, have never seen a chart before? Like, I guess what I'm saying is reassure them that you can spell it all out for them step by step, what they need to download. And then and you mentioned the community earlier, which is great, but you're ultimately asking them to learn one system. Yes, they're going to learn some new vocabulary, but ultimately it's not that bad. They're going to get that part knocked down, and then they just got to work the system, right? So just spell it out for them a little bit more.
Sure. So I'm going to relate to my own personal experiences coming into trading and marketing stuff. I had absolutely zero knowledge as far as like tech-based, like doing anything technical, computer, anything at all. It's a complete. And to this day, I still have my issues and things with technology and stuff. So, I don't use a whole lot of, and with that being said, I don't use a whole lot of fancy terms and stuff like that through the trading and stuff. It's just put out as simple as possible, just trying to make it like a complete plain English as possible. I've been in places where, there's an overwhelming amount of information. There's, multiple strategies within the program. And, that I don't see that as a good thing. Maybe for someone that's shopping around that has 10, 15, 20 years, they want to, experiment with 10, 15 different strategies. But all you need is one strategy, and you need it to be precise, and you need it to be, spelled out in a way where you can read it and understand it. If you're trying to master 3 strategies, then it's going to take you 3 times the amount of time at a minimum, to master those strategies, because then you're breaking up your focus too. So, if it took you 3 to 6 months to master a strategy, and then you're trying to master 3 or 4 strategies, then you're looking at like over a year. So it comes down to, just focusing on that one thing, like Terry was saying, and, keep, if you have a question, as you have questions, just continually showing up and asking the questions, staying plugged in, and then again, it just comes down to desire. I think, what's the purpose? Just always, be reminding yourself of what is the purpose? What am I doing this for? And developing a clear vision of like, what is this going to offer me in the future when I do get consistent and I knock this stuff out? Then, and constantly visiting that, and that's going to like feed your desire, and your desire is going to lead you to success in this. Because if you whatever we want, we get that. And we get less when we want less. So I would say for anyone that's new, just taking the first step, even though it may be unknown territory, but you're going to learn something from it, and you're going to learn a lot from it, stepping into trading. Again, we just try to make it as simple, as plain to understand as possible. We don't use a whole bunch of technical indicators or anything like that. We do technical and fundamental analysis, and want to get into too much detail here, but it's basically just a handful of signs that you're looking for in a chart to give you the go ahead. Because what we're doing is we're catching reversals. So you have basically just like continuations, and you have reversals of traders. We're trading reversals. So that's when you have an uptrend going, and you want to catch it as it's turning around. Well, it's going to give us several signs that it's about to come down, and we can catch money as traders as it goes down, and so as we sell. So it's locating these different indicators, and putting them together in what we call confluence, that gives us the go ahead, to go ahead and get in the trade. So that's about it.
Yeah. So I did a program years ago in it's a stock trading program. We went and did this thing, and I think it's similar to the terms you used with confluence, but we had this thing called trend trigger and confirmation, and we started with the fundamentals first before we'd even look at the stock, and then once that was right, and then we were looking for several indicators to line up, and we never traded unless all of those indicators lined up, and we always protected the underside. And then we just, as profits came in, we had strategies to lock them in and take them and keep them. And I think you're offering a lot of that same thing for those who are just even unsure of simple terms, but trying to give people data about this. So yeah, Jane's got some good questions. Like if someone only has a couple of hours a day, they can get it done. But Jake, I'll let you speak that. So let's just suppose someone wants to trade with you. It's going to take how many hours is it going to take to go through your basic training program, and then and then let's say they want to put a position in, and they were really tight for time, but they want to take a position in the morning, and maybe it wasn't a position to maximize all profits because they weren't around at 3 p.m. to adjust it to get an extra 10%, but they just put a position in the morning. Give us a kind of an idea of what the time commitments are to learn and then to make money with it after.
Sure, Terry. So the course itself, which I would advise everyone to be going through refresher courses, like to continue to stay plugged into the course, even to go back through it from time to time, just to refresh. But you could go through the training course in a couple of days, but it's through practicing and implementing that stuff into your trading, through taking signals from, making your own calls, on your demo account as you're taking the signals, and learning as you go. Of course, there's a learning curve. There's a big learning curve at the beginning. This is all dependent on the individual. It could take 3 months, 6 months. It could take, however long as you really want it to take. If you really, really want it bad enough, it's all up to you. But I can tell you this. So what I'm trying to say is I can't really say like guaranteed for someone that it's going to be, you'll have it down by this day or that day. But I can tell you my experiences, and I can also tell you that through my experiences that after I got it down, I can look at a chart. I can look through all my charts, 40 or 50 charts. I think it's like I generally trade off of like 45 charts. I can look through all those, and I can tell if there's a trading opportunity within, looking at the chart for a couple seconds. So, it takes some time developing the skill, but once you have the skill, then no one is ever going to be able to take that from you, like ever. And so, it's a very small price to pay to plug in and to fully submerge and to take the risk and to do all this stuff that we're talking about and get in there and learn the system so that you have that for yourself forever. You know, like I said, now I can look at a chart within seconds and I can tell you if it's ready to trade or not. Also, something else that I want everyone to know too is that the system that we use can be used on any time scale. So it's not dedicated to just day trading. If you wanted to say, like, find out that swing trading would suit your style a little bit better, or you as a person a little bit better, then the same strategy can be used as a swing trader. And a swing trader is someone basically who sets a trade and you can let it go for a week, 2 weeks. You know, you check up on it every other day or every 3 days or something like that, whatever you feel like, you know, and, you know, it's less maintenance, you know, but I naturally gravitate towards the 1 hour, but, you know, you can also use the strategy, and Adrian's on the call. He started using it recently with scalping, and scalping is the complete opposite of swing trading. He's on the 1 minute chart and the 5 minute chart. So he's getting in and out of trades really fast. So again, I mean, the possibilities are limitless. You know, it's there are no limits, you know, except for, you know, limit, I believe, like in our desire to make it happen. You know, I was able to make it happen with less. So I know that, you know, anybody that comes in, there shouldn't be any issue at all with them, with them progressing, as long as they come, you know, equipped with the right mindset and the right desire, you know, continuing to show up.
I know you invite just a couple people on that are in the course. Is now a good time to have them say a word or two?
Sure. Yeah. Adrian, if Adrian's on the call still, and if Adrian wants to say a word or two, then maybe we could pass it on to Rostam. Adrian, he just got plugged into the system. I've been on a bit of a vacation, kind of been traveling around, did a little bit of work in here and there. Really had much time to trade. But Adrian just joined right before I left, and he's been killing it. And we hadn't even, I think we've been on 1 or 2 mentorship calls. And I think it might be good to have Adrian hop on real quick and kind of just share his experience so to see another point of view.
All right, Adrian. I'm going to make you a presenter. We're both going to mute ourselves. And if you can get this thing figured out easy, tech-wise, we'll do it. And if not, we'll get you to type it. But we'll try and see if we can get you to chime in. So now that you're on there as presenter, you're just going to click the little audio-visual thing, turn yourself on, and then we'll be good to go. And I'll mute myself while you do that.
All right. Should be okay. Can everyone hear me, see me? Yeah. I was an IT project manager, so that helps. Yeah, I mean, a little bit of background. As I said, I was originally an IT project manager. I used to work for Airbus back in the UK until 3 years ago. I had a really nice job, 35 hours a week, very good wages, but I was bored. And so 3 years ago, my wife and I decided to move out to Tenerife. I managed to get a sales job out here, but to be honest, it didn't really work out. It was in timeshare. It just didn't sit in the heart for me. So up until lockdown, I was basically using my IT skills, and I still do, to build websites and help people with local businesses, mainly estate agents and excursion shops and things like that in the tourist sector here. Help them build their brand through Facebook and AdWords and all that sort of stuff. And it was going okay. And then obviously lockdown hit. And to rewind a bit, back in 2008, 2009, I tried to learn Forex trading on my own. I bought every course and refunded every course. I bought every automated robot. At that time, there was the whole network marketing industry was promoting Forex robots. I've tried and tested them all. Some work for a week, a month, but at that time I was working full time as well, so I didn't have the time to sit and learn and implement. And then obviously lockdown hit, and I decided, what am I going to do? So I went back to Forex. A couple of buddies of mine from the internet marketing world were also doing the same thing, but in different directions. and we sort of started hooking up together. We got involved in a company that, again, another automated Forex software. We both tried it for about a month. I blew one account, and I just said, you know what, I'm just going to go out and get a mentor. So that's when I came across Jacob. I saw a few of his videos. I hooked into the free signals. I decided, I talked to him first. You know, he's very approachable, obviously. I talked to him first about getting on board with the training course and like the paid signal version and everything. And I just went all in because, like, I think when Jacob was talking, you've got to have a desire, you need a why, and you've got to have focus and effort. And it's just repeating that, really. So my desire and the why was I need to make a monthly income, like overnight, really. Luckily, I had some knowledge before. I had to relearn some of the terminology, some of the trading systems like MT4 or TradingView. And basically, by hooking into Jacob's course, I went through the whole training in, I think it was one weekend and a couple of calls with Jacob, and that was it. I was ready to rock and roll. I'd advise anybody who's not traded before to use a demo account. So as Jacob was saying before, each lesson, if you're using a live account and you're using small lot sizes, it might cost you $1 or $2, but on a demo account, it costs you nothing. So you can trade a demo account for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, until you get confident enough to put your own money at risk, and then obviously generate money as well. So yeah, I mean, basically the last, I don't know how I can screen share. Oh, let's probably click the screen sharing button. Just bear with me.
If you run the screen sharing thing, you have to click a thing called Run in App.
Okay, I've got 2 screens, so that's why I'm just being a bit hesitant on which one it is I want to share.
Damn Pornhub. Get off my other screen.
So I don't know if you can see a black screen now or not.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. So you should see my FX book now.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, cool. So I mean, this is a live chart for those people that don't know. Sorry, a live account for those people that don't know. My FX book is a third-party statistics site that you can plug into live accounts, demo accounts, strategies, etc., and it collects all the data for you, rather than having to necessarily manually record everything in a spreadsheet or write it down in a trading book or whatever. It's still good to do those things, but I like this because I can actually drill down in the data itself. So, I mean, this is a month-old account. I started with $1,700. I'm using predominantly the strategy that Jacob's learned, but I've drilled down because I've got the time now to sit in front of the computer. A lot of the 1 hour and 4 hours, I'm a bit impatient to sit and wait for the trade, so I've decided to drill down into the 5 minutes and the 1 minute, and really just use the strategy to grab a few pips. I might grab 4 or 5 pips and be out of the trade, and I only have to do that a few times a day. My initial goal is $50 a day. That'll give me around $1,000 a month as an income. I've smashed it, obviously, already in the last 3 weeks. Well, I'm on target actually for what I want, but now obviously as my account grows, I can maybe increase my lot sizes a little bit more, and as Ross said, compound it using it that way. So I just wanted to share that. I mean, it's unheard of to get 46% or 45, nearly 47% in a month in Forex trading.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's ridiculously good. You know, I mean, I was talking to Jacob last night and I was just saying, I've got something to tell you, mate. What? 46%. I'm just so, you know,
if you can compound that monthly, holy Jesus, that turns amazing.
Yeah, I mean, just to manage people's expectations, you know, this is my best trading account ever. and it's all down to learning, focusing, getting some mentorship from Jacob. Now I've put my own twist on it, you know, and I'm able to sit in front of the charts for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours if I want to, you know, but you don't have to. If you trade in the 1 hour and the 4 hour higher time frames, you can put a trade on, go to work, come back. But obviously, if you guys, or those of you that are thinking of moving abroad, it can be done. As I say, I'm living in Tenerife, which is a small Spanish island in the Canaries, off the coast of Africa, and you know, this is one of, with websites and trading, I'm able to survive, more than survive.
That's fantastic. Well, Adrian, I really appreciate you sharing and including sharing your actual trading account. We appreciate the vulnerability, and it's very exciting. So just for the interest of time, Jacob, you mentioned someone else you wanted to say a quick something. Maybe we could bring them on. Who was it that I should bring on? Let's see here.
Can you still hear me?
Jacob, what happened to you? There we go. Oh, something happened, Jake. All right. You back with us, Jake? And if you want to type it in, Ross. Okay. All right, Ross. Ross, if you just want to come on and share a couple quick minutes with us, that'd be great. So let us know kind of what your story's been and how it's going for you and all that good stuff. I think you should be on as a presenter now, so you could just click on the microphone and the camera and you're all set. Even if you just want to do microphone only, that's okay too. Right in the top right-hand corner, Ross, there's a little box that moves up. It's kind of like it's like an AV pod, and then there's a little settings button, a camera, and a microphone. All right. While you play with it, is there anyone else that wants to come on? We can see if they can get it faster. Danielle could probably get this done in like 10 seconds, guys. She's going to show you up. Anybody else want to chime in? Yeah, it's MIT.
Can you hear me?
We do. I can hear you. Okay, go ahead.
Hello, guys. Yeah, I just got a little beef with Jacob. I think he's undersold himself big time. So him and I are going to have some words later on, I think.
I think so, too. He's always so damn humble and modest. He's killing it.
He's definitely not egotistical. You know, if you look at his Facebook profile, you know, he doesn't have big Boeing 747s. He's advertising that he's got enough money to buy that, or a Ferrari Testarossa. You know, so he's not one of them guys, you know. One of the most genuine traders I've met. Now, my journey began 2 years ago. I was in the same group Jacob was in last, and you know, it wasn't going well for me, tell you the truth. 2 years I've been there. The strategy was working for me. I was not making money. I was losing money. Jacob came along, and he more or less opened my eyes to what real trading is. His strategy, when he used to jump on when he used to do just random Zoom calls to help people out, he was always there for people. Even though he hadn't been in a group that long, he was always willing to help. You know, I love this guy. It's absolutely awesome what he's done for people. You know, he even if he didn't have confidence in his own strategy, you could see his strategy was working. People were making money off his strategy more than my previous mentor. So it goes to show how much of an positive effect Jacob was having. And basically it came to a point where, you know, Jacob had a breakthrough. He probably didn't see it himself, but a few of us saw that he had his breakthrough. This guy was consistently profitable with his trades. His signals were hitting take profit one after another. You know, it was absolutely awesome. You know, on cloud 9. Then unfortunately, you know, then he left our group. He started his own group, and I joined him. You know, it was, for me, it was a big move because I spent so much money in my last group on the mentoring, on the tutoring, and the pro membership. But I knew that if I was going to make it in trading, Jacob is a mentor I wanted. He was a person I wanted to teach me his strategy. You know, I want you to learn from this guy. And you know, I followed him. Personally, for me, my trading wasn't as good with the learning and everything, the strategy with my previous mental strategy. But I was good on the fundamental side, basically, because I've always had a keen interest in economics, in the news, you know, with economical data. So I've always had you know, been keen on that, and we thought we could we could join that with Jacob's strategy, and you know, find a balance with fundamental and technical analysis. And you know, I joined him, and I mean, when he talks about 90%, he's not wrong. You know, 90% to 100% winning trades. But then it annoys me when he then goes and says we've had a losing streak. Now, if you want to call a 70-80% winning streak still a losing streak, you know, this is what I'm saying. He's being too modest. You know, I wouldn't call that losing when you're still winning 70 to 80% of your trades. That is not losing. You know, you're still winning at the end of the day. You know, and the fact that he's so modest annoys me sometimes. You know, it's you know, you're not losing, and he's not lost. I mean, since he started his own venture, his own platform, he has not gone below the 70% losing streak or anything. His trades have not gone below 70 to 80%. You can ask anybody that. You know, I'm witness to
Nobody
that.
I've heard is doing that.
I've been there since day one. You know, this guy does not lose trades willy-nilly. You know, the only time he will lose trades is when the markets go against him. If there's a sudden spike, for example, if Trump gets on the microphone and says something really out of order, then the markets shift big time. That's the only time. You know, you can't. How are you supposed to? You can't put that into a trade. You can't, you know, accommodate that in a trade. It happens once in a while. It'll happen. You know, so it's not his fault with the signals. So you know, his signals are that good. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, how much do your banks pay out? Your banks usually give you interest of 1%, if that. I'm not sure how much it is in the States. How much interest do you get usually? What's the interest rate over there?
Yeah, it's tiny. And you know, Ross, another thing I'd like to touch on that you just hit a nail on the head there. When the trade does go sideways because some geopolitical thing that's just totally out of your control, he's also teaching people how to control, like to minimize that loss. Like you may not have made profit, but you're not losing your bank account when you do that, right?
That's right. That's right. What he's doing is basically what you do is when you're in profit, what you do is you move your stop loss into break even. Which then means if that trade still goes the wrong way, if it reverses and starts going the wrong way against you, it will hit your stop loss, but you do not lose money. You know, you do not lose money. You can even put that stop loss in profit. So if it does go the wrong way, you still pick up something. You know, you pick up something at least. Yeah, it's not a dead trade. You know, and that's the exciting part. And this is what I noticed with Jacob's trades. Very rarely do you get in a massive drawdown. You know, and basically a drawdown is when your money goes from positive to the negative. And you know, there's always a chance you can hit the stop loss. Jacobs rarely goes into a big deep drawdown, and sometimes he does have his stop loss close, tight. So even if it hits it, you will not lose much. You know, and out of 22 trades, if you're losing 3 or 4 trades a week, that's nothing. Out of 22 trades, and you're winning what, 18, 20 trades?
Right.
That's
if you make 5% on 18 trades straight, and on 4 of them you lost 2%, you're still way up.
Oh yeah, exactly. And the best thing is everybody's winning. Everybody. I mean, this is when I was in that last team, that last group. People, I'm sorry, but we were losing. I'm being honest here. That wasn't trading. That was play trading. That was nothing like what we're doing now. Jacobs had his breakthrough. He knows what he's doing. He's because I've been in other signal groups, and I've never seen so much consistency within the trades. And Jacobs giving that, you know, and it's just absolutely awesome because not only you hit the take profit 1, you hit the take profit 2, take profit 3. Even if it goes back the wrong way, you're still like your stop losses and break even. And I got nothing. I got all the good things to say about this guy. And you know, it's I wish him nothing but the best of success, and I know he's going to be a success. He's going to go to the top with this, and the fact that he's sharing this with everybody, he's sharing his strategy with everybody. It's a winning strategy. Look at Adrian. Adrian's only been in the group a couple of months. It's a winning strategy, and this is no lie. Since I've been trading with Jacob, since he started his new platform, in 2 months I have not lost a single trade.
Not one in 2 months. Holy shit, that's unbelievable.
Shall I tell you why that is? Because I've learned lessons from the last group. I don't take as many trades. I do not take every single trade. I take the trades that I can manage. Right? When you take the trades you can manage, you're more focused on them, and that way you can add positions. You can maximize the profit on there. When you're taking loads of trades, you lose it. Because you have some going this way, some going that way. You don't know what's happening, and it's don't give yourself too much to do. That's all I'm going to say. And I take only 3-4 trades a week, and that is enough for me. That is enough for me.
I liked when Jake said to sit some out if the risk to reward ratio is not there. Just it's just not worth it. And then you try and maximize in the trade instead, which I think sounds exciting. Which he's also teaching. Yeah. All right. So, all right, Ross, thank you so much for sharing. In the interest of time, Jacob, did you want anyone else to share? Or do we have, or did you want to jump back on here? Jacob, you still with us, buddy? Typing? Okay. All right. He's typing. He needs mic help again. He's not getting audio. Jacob, we got to get Danielle in on the fix your tech stuff, man. Well, Jacob, while you finish your audio, fix your audio business, is there anyone else that wanted to chime in? Annie, it sounds like you're also trading. And you're trading. Would you like to comment? And I'm going to put you on while Jake figures out his tech stuff, if that works for you. All right, and if you just want to click on the microphone and or video, oh no, you're on a cell phone. I don't know if you can, but just maybe you can click the audio. Oh, yeah, so yeah, you should be okay. See if you can click the audio button if you'd just like to share a couple minutes of your story, Ann. There we are. Hello, Ann. I can see you, but I can't hear you. There should be one more button. There you
okay.
are. You're perfect.
Okay. Yeah. Hi, everybody. Well, I'm just backing up everything everybody else has said. I'm always being, I always push the ageist button because I'm a youngster at 67. I've been doing this a short while. I've known Jacob mainly since he was recognized in his previous course that he did. I was with him then, and I knew when I seen him in that course that had a wider spread of understanding where we all kind of came from, but he was honing it down. I could see that, and it was so clear to me that what he was giving and what he was doing was actually cutting to the chase in a small part of the course that we were doing that was just so effective, so focused, and so easy. I mean, I think I commented, I knew nothing from nothing about Forex, which is, foreign currency trading. And I was following somebody who, yes, had signals, yes, had a load of information, and I gained a tremendous amount from that. But it was the matter of you've got to focus on one area of it because it was too spread out. And when you're little about this, you have really got to hone in your ops. I keep saying that, focus in on a small amount of it, and you can pick that up, which is what Jacob has done. He's picked out an area of foreign Forex training that is so simple and easy, and if you do not sway from it, if you learn this course and you do it, it's foolproof. You can hear it. There's 70, 80% proof. I mean, where are you going to get that? You aren't going to get it anywhere. And I'm telling you, whatever age you are, you can teach this to any age. And I actually am a teacher. So, you know, I know what I'm talking about. I've taught school for 40 years. So, you know, I learned this when I was 65. So, you know, I'm telling you that this will work for anybody. And I congratulate him. I just know that whatever amount of money you've got, it'll pay off for you. But certainly start off with a demo, and you will be amazed at how simple this is, you know. And I would not on, you know, my life say this, that, you know, it will work. If you stick to this, it's a no-brainer. That's all I can tell you.
Thank you so much for sharing, Anne. I really appreciate it.
No problem. You're welcome.
All right, Jake, I hope you got your tech stuff figured out, or at least a microphone, if not the video. Is there, I mean, I guess while we're waiting for Jake, if anyone else wants to chime in, a lot of the already existing traders apparently have shown up here to share some stuff. So that's really cool. It's great for people just to hear from others. I know that everything I'm hearing from Jake's camp has been very impressive to me. When I hear someone does not miss a single trade in 2 months, like, that's unheard of. It doesn't matter if you're making only small wins on that. Imagine if you're just making 1% on every trade, but you never missed. Eventually you start out with 1,000, then eventually you friggin', I'm not telling you to mortgage a house, you know what I mean? But eventually you get 100 grand in there and you get 1%, and then it's 1K a day, you know, like, or whatever those math works. It just gets stupid when you can win consistently with the right system. And I think that's the magic of it all. Jake, you're having a lot of tech problems in here. We get someone to fix your tech stuff, man. You know, what else I liked about Jacob too is he, you know, there's no slick, smooth sales talk and stuff. He hasn't tried to talk me into anything. He's not trying to. He just plugged me in to let me see what the other traders were doing. He showed me some screens and some videos and some trades, and we've just been dialoguing, getting to know one another also on a friendship level, and I appreciate that, because I don't know, just my spidey senses tingle and say I trust this guy, and based on everyone saying that they're all winning following his system, I mean, that's just so encouraging. I think that is the point, right? That's what we're all looking for, is the result. He could be the nicest guy in the world and we can all be friends with him, but if we can't make some money off the trades, you know, this is a problem. Perfect. All right, Jake, so we had a great webinar earlier, tech problems and all. It was so great to hear from some of your students joining in. That took me by surprise. I didn't know they were joining us. I loved it. You know, when I heard Ross say that he didn't miss a single trade in 2 months, I mean, if that doesn't tell people everything they need to know. And I love that people came in from lots of different walks of life, and I think that's encouraging for people. So I'm excited about what you have to offer. And at the end of the chat, when you were having hard times joining us, a lot of people were saying, I want it. I love this. How do I get started? Where do I go? And all of a sudden we came into a tech jumble. So let's just tie this on to the other video here. Tell us, for those who want to trade, get this skill for life, learn how to make money from anywhere in the world, regardless of what kind of shitstorm is going on in the economy. This is a great skill for life that anyone can take control of their finances. Even if they shut down like the entire economy, this is still going to be happening. So that's one of the things I'm excited about. So for those who do want that skill set for life, walk us through what you're offering. I know you said you came up with something special for the Plan B group for a limited time offer, and I appreciate you doing that for our community. So let us know what you got for them.
Absolutely, Terry. We appreciate y'all as well for the opportunity, you know, giving us to work with y'all. You know, we'd be glad to have anybody and everybody that wants to come on to give them to make it just a little bit easier for them to do so. So for the mentorship, the training course, the premium signals, the free signals, and the live chat, that's $625 one-time fee, and then it's $125 per month. That also includes, like I said, the mentorship, and then live calls throughout the week. You know, it's really important to have that mentorship along with the training. because you can't really just ask a training program questions. You got to have a mentor there, and you really need to have a good, healthy learning community. So having the live chat is where, you know, I experienced a good majority of my growth previously, and my different experiences with my mentors and teams and things like that I've been with. So, you know, just love to incorporate that and offer that to people as well. As far as the special offer, we are offering a special offer for those that want to go ahead and get started. And it's going to be effective, and it's going to last for 7 days. So the $625 is going to be reduced to $525. And then you get the premium signals for 6 months. That's $100 a month per month offer for free for 6 months. So that's a $600 value for that. And that includes the free signals, the training course, and the mentorship.
Perfect. All right. So for those listening, I just want to recap this. So what Jacob's doing, he's with the live mentorship calls, he's going to be doing 2 to 3 per week. So you're getting like, I don't know, 10 to 12 sessions. So if you do the math, you're talking about $10 a session. Like if you know where to get a professional trader helping you and holding your hand for $10 a session somewhere else, I obviously suggest you should go do that. But you know, when you hear about someone who's nailing almost 100% of their trades, and in the beginning, they're going to answer your questions, and then eventually you're pretty much trading over the shoulder with them. I mean, I just don't know how you can beat that even if you're a new and inexperienced trader. That's what you want. You want the shortcuts. You don't want to learn forever and ever. You want someone to shortcut it, answer the questions, all that stuff. So you get in on the training course. So you get that. And if you're an eager student, you can knock that out in one weekend. And you do want to do it quickly, so you don't miss out on the next mentorship calls that come up. So they make good sense to you. And then, so there's some free signals. What that means is that he gives you a few of the trades that they're doing that you can get in on, but he also has a premium service where you get even more trades. And I'll get him to just clarify that for us. But these free signals these premium signals that you can trade on, so you can make a lot more money. And then you're going to get to trade over the shoulder with them, you know, 10 to 12 times a month. I mean, that's an incredible offer for, you know, $10 a session or whatever it works out to. And that's only possible because there's a group of us, right? If he was doing that 101, you know, you're probably looking at $100 an hour or whatever it is, because I mean, you can't do it for $10 an hour. I mean, that's for sure. That's less than minimum wage. But as a group, everyone gets to win together. And so the offer is good until when, Jake? And then can you just speak to the premium signals? The premium signals is a separate service, but you're giving them that right now for free. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes, it's going to be free for 6 months. Anybody that takes on the offer is good till next Friday at this time. You know, so this time next Friday, so around 4:30 Central Time next Friday. The premium signals are going to include more stocks. We trade the S&P 500 on there. We'll do silver on there, more commodities, also more Forex pairs. You're just getting more value. There's also more strategies and stuff in that intertwined in that channel. So those are going to be, like I said, free for 6 months. And then so yeah, basically that's it. So you got 7 days for those that really want to jump on the opportunity to go ahead and want to go ahead and commit and make that investment. Then, you know, that's available starting today. And then I'll just send the links over, and then, you know.
Okay, and they also get $100 off if they take action this week and join. Plus, they get the extra $100 service for free, and then the coaching and mentoring is you know, basically $10 a session, which I think is fantastic. All right. Anything else?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's an additional $600 value, you know, for the 6 months. The premium signals, I've had people make over $700 on a trade, you know, coming out of there. And I'm sure that people make a lot more than that. Like I said, with these trades, it's all dependent on your account size and how much you're willing to turn your leverage up and stuff, you know, but we go over all that stuff in the training. You know, there are people in the group that are profiting for free off of the free signals, you know, and I don't want to make it all about signals, because the thing is, and the goal is to get everyone not just to be professional signal takers, but to be traders, but to learn to be traders and account managers. You know, it's good and necessary I think for people to have signals to go off of during the beginning as they're learning, you know, so that they can begin to, you know, get a good feel for how the market is moving, and to also put some money in your pocket, to start seeing technical analysis daily, you know, to help condition help condition to want to get into those types of trading scenarios. So, you know, it's a great value just for that premium signal service. Like I said, normally it's $100 a month, but we're going to give that for free for 6 months on top of the $100 discount. So
appreciate that. All right. So for those of you watching, listen, if you've got another plan to where you can guarantee you control your income even when the economy goes to shite, because you know damn well they're gonna do a lot of nasty things to the economy for the next while. Who knows how long that lasts? If you got other things, by all means, go do it. But if this makes sense to you, if this is another skill set that you want to have for life where you can control your income for life, there's always going to be currency trading, at least as long as we can foresee in the future. There'll always be some kind of trading anyway, and these strategies are going to apply. So it's a skill for life, and if you don't want to take it as serious as Jake, that's all right. You can log on, 30, 60 minutes a day, place a trade, go to the beach, and come back and still have profits in your account. And if you treat this with some respect and take it seriously, you can pay for the entire course, everything, your tuition and all in the first month, as long as you have, more than, if you're trading with $25 to start, maybe not that case, but anyone who's coming with a reasonable size account and is treating this serious, you can get a return on investment in your first month. So that to me, that's a pretty low risk. But don't do it if you're not going to put an ounce of time in and expect that money is going to magically land in your account. That's not what he's offering. But the training course is short. It's concise. It's one strategy. Even inexperienced traders can learn this, and I have faith in you. I think you could do it. So if it makes sense to you, let me know. Jake's going to send me all the links and all that good stuff. I'll send them off to whoever's watching this video. If you haven't seen them below the thread or whatever, contact me, and I'll get them off to you, and you can do what makes sense for you. Jacob, thank you so much for taking your time. Thank you for sharing all of this skill set that you was hard earned and fought for. You've got thousands of hours into it, and I think you're offering for a very reasonable, fair price to people and teaching them how to make a lot of money. And I think this is a real win-win scenario for everyone. So thank you for taking your time and for making this available to people. And hopefully we'll be seeing a whole bunch of people join your community and getting to work making some money.
Absolutely, Terry. Thanks again, everybody, for giving us the opportunity to work with y'all, and we really appreciate it. It's been a pleasure getting to know you, Terry, and we look forward to communicating and doing some trading here with y'all later.
Looking forward to it, Jacob. Thanks a lot for your time, man. All right, so we'll close out here, and I'll get you to send me the links, and we'll send everyone all that good stuff, and we'll get them on their way.
Awesome. Sounds great, Terry. Sorry, everyone, for the technical issues. Again, something going around in the whole town over here. They're having problems in my phone and through the Wi-Fi and everything. So we'll get that all patched up and ready to go, too. So once again, we really appreciate y'all. We'll holler at y'all later.
It's the latest Corona internet virus.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks a lot, man. Have a good one.
All right. Thanks, Terry. You too. Appreciate it.
Take care.